if you're saying something today. Sitting on the hill of a tree, making the sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying to tell me something, something that I should know. About this new world, a new world that's gonna blow. It's already on the hill, coming out of my people, taking the goodness of life. Right now they got me smile. You see the mission that they gave you was just to deceive you. They'll tell you that you want to lie. Don't let the devil fool you. Somehow I know things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Ready. Injustice, this world could maybe like somebody did it, don't then don't. Come on. Hi, welcome to Celebrate Life. I was caught putting on one foot in my shoes, so I only had on one foot. So let me finish the other one, and let me tell you something. Life is all about celebrating. Today we have a very, very special show, and we have to make sure that everything is in place. It is so special. Took a little extra time, to get everything together, but thanks to my wonderful producer, I think I have everything together, but guess what, Mr. Producer? My monitor, right, and I don't have my monitor in place. Oh, it's there, but that isn't what I need the mirror. Right, so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Welcome to reggae2reggae.com, and it is our Monday morning show where we are going to go with www.celebratelife.me, and we're going to celebrate Mondays. And we need to understand that this is the issue of wonderful. Now I can see what I'm doing. And no, been rushing on here, everything got out of whack. I had my hair together, I had my color right, and so today I'm doing the corporate thing. And welcome to Celebrate Life.me. Okay, I have some a very special guests on the show. You heard that music that come in? Somehow things have got to change. This is what this station is about, and this is what this program is about. So we have to celebrate. And Mr. Producer, please put a fan in place because I am piling up. Right? I am very hot because this is not the sort of clothes that I am accustomed to, nor the sort of clothes that I like to wear. But guess what? You see, us Jamaicans, we are all things to all people. If you want to dress up and look corporate, that's us. If you want to dress down and look yardy, that's us. If you're ready for the beach, that's us. If you're ready to run, that's us. So what we are doing here is celebrating Jamaica and all the variety that there is in this wonderful country. Because Jamaica is the best country in the world. Bar none. That is why we can give what we have to the whole world. Because we have so many resources that whatever we give away will be replenished. And that's because it comes from all the different, like remember we spoke about a potpourri or a potpourri? Well, that is because we are a mix-up people out of many one people. You notice that on the show I do a lot of stuff. I have a lot of black around me. I love black because black is beautiful. We are the best background to display everything against. See black and white? You put white against black, not look better. It's there's an animal in my shoes. They are ants in my shoes. Excuse me. Well, I was wondering what was tickling my feet. That was a foot. I have not worn these boots for years. You notice I always have on sandals because I broke some bones in my instep. And so I can only wear sandals. But today, since I'm dressing up, I thought that I would put on my boots, my high boots, because guess what? I can no longer walk in them. But since I'm sitting down, I decided to wear them. Well, that is the end of that. Boy, talk about sweet toes. Oh my goodness. You know, an ant's nest was in my boot. Anyway, moving right along. Today we're talking about the 4 rules of the show. I'm starting off with rule number 1, but I want to go over the 4 rules again, right? The 4 rules are: 1, know where the bus is going. Because if you don't know the destination of the bus, then you're going to get to the wrong place. How do you know your destination? By knowing your goals, your objectives, your dreams, your visions, and putting them together. And that is the area that we're going to concentrate on today so that we can come to the end that we wanted to be. I'm still looking at the ants. Anyway, don't be distracted. Thank you, Lord. We are looking at rule number 1. Then rule number 2 is know the driver. Because if you don't know the driver and all the characteristics and personality and the ways of the driver, then you cannot have the confidence to sit back and relax and to know that you're going to get to your destination. 3, you have to pay as you enter. Pay as you enter means that you have to make your contribution to whatever you are engaged in. I don't care whether you are in a charitable situation, you are in a voluntary situation, I don't care what you're doing. You have to make a contribution. And you have to make the contribution before you get the rewards. And that is why we all have to learn to put off future gratification for our present, whatever we are involved in the present. Meaning that if you want something down the road, you got to pay for it now. And then when you get down there, you're free to enjoy it. You don't have to pay for it then. Right? And that is what we are all about and what we are encouraging those who are traveling along this bus to do. So that's number 3, pay as you enter. And then number 4 is celebrate the journey. Enjoy the ride. Because that's the only way to travel. So part of this is change. You have to be constantly changing if you want to reach to your objective. And so we're going to concentrate today on just rule number 1. How you get there, what it is first of all, how you get there, and what will your expected end be when you get there. Alright, so back to rule number 1. Rule number 1. Know where you're going. How do you know where you're going? We're looking at purpose here. We're going to have to look back at how we are created, why we were created. And you know, one of the things when my clients come to see me, that's one of the questions they have to answer. And I would say on most occasions, they don't have an answer. And once I explain to them how to find the answer, then right away they have the answer. So I'm going to explain to you how to find the answer. Because one of the things that you have to understand is that in order to know your purpose in life, you have to know why you were created. Alright? So let me carry you through the creation story. And this is not the one about Adam and Eve. This is one about Cheryl and you, Angela, Steve, Carl, Tanya, Natalie, Devana. Those are all my staff. I have to let them know that they have to go back to why each person was created. Not why I was created. I have to go back to why I was created. You have to go back to why you were created. How do you know why you were created? Stop. First of all, you have to know who your creator is. And I'm going to tell you who my creator is. If you want to accept him as your creator, fine. If you have another one, fine. But whoever it is, you contact him or her or them. And you say, why was I created? And I'm going to give the answer, which is in his operations manual. What this thing was created, this person was created to do. And it says in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, I have a plan for you. I have a purpose for you. I have a reason for you. And the reason is that I don't want to harm you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want anything negative to happen to you. Because my plan for you is to give you a hope, to give you something to work towards, something to think about and aspire to. And guess what that thing is? Whatever it is, I will place it in your spirit so that you have an ability to move towards that direction. But the end of that is that you are going to be prosperous and successful. And that's not for one of my creations. That's not for 20% of my creation. That's for 100% of my creation. Every single thing that I create, and I'm speaking as God, is for a purpose and an eternal purpose. Secondly, every single one of them, I, God, intend to make you prosperous and successful at it. So why are there so many failures? Well, number one, failure is a process to get to success. But if you don't understand that failure is a stepping stone and a part of the process, the learning process to get to where God wants you to be, then you sit down in the failure, you sit in the failure, and you think that that's the destination. And that is why you need to know your destination. Because if you don't know where you're going, then what happens? You get stuck on the way. If you're going from Kingston, downtown Kingston, to Halfway Tree, and when you get to Crossroads, the bus broke down, and everybody have to sit down on the sidewalk and wait on the next one. Some people think that because the bus stopped and broke down in Crossroads, they must sit down in Crossroads for the rest of their life because they never know since really Halfway Tree they were going. So when you have a hiccup in the journey to your destination, it is only an indication that you need to take a break, evaluate the situation, get a better transport. Because guess why the bus broke down? Because if it did stay in the bus, when it get partway from Crossroads to Halfway Tree, you would have had a situation where the bus out into fire because there was a short circuit. So guess what God do? He make it broke down in Crossroads so that everybody can come off, so that they can take the bus and get a better transport that is going to now move us from Crossroads to Halfway Tree. So you understand why the hiccups happen in your journey? You understand why the failures happen? So that you can reevaluate, so that you can reorganize your transport, get you to where you're going. So, start again. You must know where you're going. God made you and He has a plan. He writes it down, Then write it down in the operational manual. Every detail of every area of that plan for your life and for my life. And for the life of everything, the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees. He has a plan for everything that He created. A perfect plan. And anyhow you work outside of your plan, you get joke. It's as simple as that. But you have made that decision. It is your choice. It is your decision. And so you have to decide, do I want to walk in that plan where I won't get juke? But anytime the prickle come and stick me, it will say to me, watch out, man, you don't want to go there. Because the maca over there bigger. You know what the maca is? Maca is large prickles, or macas are large prickles. And when they stalk you, you get poison from them. In other words, it's like a poisonous plant that has these large prickles. And when they stick you, they inject poison into the whole of your bloodstream. I don't want no maca juke me. So anytime I get a little prickle stick, I run fast. And I say, God, what are you wrong? No, not doing it again. Right? And I just line up. So I'm not walking along no maca path. I walk along this straight and narrow. And when you stay along the straight and narrow, all of those things are on the broad road where you jump round and all sorts of things are juke you, and you get hit down and you get up and you get hit down again. It's my choice to walk the straight and narrow where I have abundance of everything provided for me by my Creator. So it's still on number one now. That's the whole program on number one. Know where you're going. How you know where you're going? Now I told you the plan that the Creator has for you. Long before you're born. You bring your mother and your father together. I won't go before that, but let's just start with your mother and your father. And you bring them together at a specific time. See, my mother and my father, I was the last child, right? And I was born in 1940. 9. And at that time, God knew that he had to have conception at that specific time. In order for me to come to the age that I know I'm at, 64, and I'm here sitting at reggae2reggae.com, studio in the house, that means the studio is in my house, and I'm giving you this information. All that was planned before. And all the Michael Jukin and all the preachers that stopped me along the way was for the purpose of bringing me to the place and through those experiences that I've had so that I can share them with you. Because that's why I'm on Jamaica, you know. God put me in Jamaica because the purpose of Jamaica is to do everything, learn everything, grow everything, train everybody for the benefit of the whole human race. Isn't it exciting to be a Jamaican? We are the only country with a motto, anthem, and pledge that is not about benefiting the country alone, but benefiting the whole human race. What is our motto? Out of many, one people. We incorporate everybody in the world. What is our pledge saying? For the whatever we do is for the benefit of the whole human race. And what is our anthem saying? We're going to be praying the anthem at the end or just before the end when we're going to show you the music maker of that wonderful thing that I've been using. Change has to happen. But how are we going to get the change happen? By patching into that prayer that we have as our national anthem. But let me back up to where we are now. How do you know what your goal is, what your purpose is? The way to know where your goal is and your purpose is and what it is to listen, first of all, to your dreams and your visions. You ever sit down and daydream? I remember when I was a child, I told you already, I had a daydream about pirouetting. That's doing spinning like a ballerina on the top of a globe. And to me that meant dancing all over the world. Well, it has come to pass. I danced all over the world. Because that was the vision I saw as a child. I don't remember how old I was, 4, 5, 6, I don't remember, but it's around that age. And that never left my head, my heart, and my spirit. Every vision that comes to you is out of the heart of God. He placed it there. Now you can have nightmares, you know. But your nightmares is a result of what you bring into your system to mess it up. It may be bad food that you eat before you go to your bed. Or it may be a quarrel and so on. You had with somebody a day ago. That is nightmares. You don't talk about those. I'm talking about dreams and visions of achieving something that is impossible at the time when you dream it or you have that vision. So understand, a key to your eventual goals and purposes in life are the dreams and visions that we have. The impossible dreams. It must be outside of our capabilities totally in order for it to qualify. Another thing that is a sort of a directive and an indication of where your dreams and visions are going to lead you to is what we call your temperament. Your temperament is different from your personality. Your temperament is the permanent, God-given, unchangeable characteristics and essence of the self. That means those things that will never change about you. So I'm fiery and that is me, right? I'm like Peter. You come and go and trouble my boss, chop off your ears, man. After all, you know, just everything is a big deal because I don't do anything halfway. Everything I do, if I am cutting my fingernails, I do passionately, and therefore I always cut myself. But everything I do with passion, And so we need to understand that this has been placed in you so that you can have enough drive to overcome and overpower those naysayers around you, because every single thing I attempt to do, everybody say, you can't do it. That is not, that's before your time, you're this and you're that. If you don't patch into your natural temperament and operate in it, then you will never be able to actualize. You'll never be able to achieve all that God has purpose for you to achieve. So it's so important for you to remember that what we are doing here is looking for where you're going, how to know where you're going, what is your destination. So we're looking at the temperament. I want to tell you the difference between temperament and personality. Personality is the way you behave in different situations. And it's self-selective. That means that you decide, when you're at church, when you're at home, when you're at work. Oh, wrong foot. So there are different things that happen. And one of the things you want to do with your personality is bring your personality into sync with your temperament, so that you're not this way at home and you're that way at school and then you're that way at church and then you're that way in the community. You need to be yourself, your real self in all these situations. But it takes time to, first of all, accept yourself as you are and then be yourself at all times. And if you are not getting enough strength about who you are and you don't have the right self-image, then you will not have the confidence to become who you were created to be. So yesterday we talked a little about self-image and the fact that the father is the one who gives the child his or her self-image. A girl doesn't get her self-image or a sense of self from her mother. She gets it from her father. And so because we have such dysfunctionalities in our Jamaican society, that is why we have so many dysfunctional persons. That is why we have so much crime and violence and underachievement. Because people don't know who they are. They've gone through the gate. This is for those people who are currently fathers. And if you are a father, then you have to give the right image to your daughters and your sons. How? By unconditional acceptance and love. I don't care what they do. You find something to accept and praise about everything they do. If he's a gunman and he shot up something, you praise him for being a good shot. And then you explain to him that is not that thing supposed to be shooting. If you want to be a good gunman, then join the bird shooting crew or we do wild hog hunting in this country. You want to go hunt wild hog or you want to go hunt birds, that's what you must develop your shooting ability for. So it doesn't matter what your son or daughter does, you've got to find something to praise them for. And then you learn how to turn their capabilities to something that is to their benefit and to the benefit of everybody, so that your capability is not used in a negative way. For instance, if it is that your son or daughter, so a lot of women getting into it, are one of the scammers, because Jamaica, we are the best at everything. We are the best scammers, we are the best or worst criminals, we are the best at every area. It's not just sports and music. You know what one of my research projects has been for the last 20, 30 years? Every time I see somebody who gets a Nobel Peace Prize or win anything in the world, or is good at anything and get any kind of award, I get into and I start to research to find out who is the Jamaican or the Caribbean person that is right behind them. Right? You need to understand that that person is always there. There is always a Caribbean person who is right on spot, showing you how you need to operate. So remember, that we are the best people in the world. We're good at everything. And when you look at being good at everything, then we know that it's going to happen. You have to turn it this way and let it slant this way. All right, I'm just checking out and working on my arm. And then you got to put something behind it. Bring it forward a little bit, forward a little bit, forward a little bit. That's when I see. Okay? So, I'm not looking at you. I'm trying to fix up our studio. We're just getting it together now, Because remember, that we're doing the growing pains, right? And as we do the growing pains, that's when we get things right. So, why are we getting all of this together and getting it right? So that when you start to do your television program, you'll get it right too. So, here we go again. So, I was talking about learning to know where you're going and having the right perspective. The Father image being there. And there are times, when the Father is not present. So I was talking about those who are fathers now. And remember, as a father, you need to give your child all the conditional acceptance, whether they're good, they're bad, they're doing something that you like or not. Never push them down. You have got to be always lifting them up. That's one of the reasons why a lot of men gravitate to an alternate lifestyle, because those people accept them unconditionally, no matter what they do, where they come from or otherwise. We will have a program on that, because too many of our men are going in that direction, and it's because they are not being accepted for who they are. Whenever they show a little feminine side, everybody say, get away from me, call them all sorts of animal name like fish and so on. Look, that's not the way to go. If you want to keep your men straight, then you've got to learn to accept them unconditionally and give them all the time affirmations of who they were created to be. Moving right along. Remember, we're still talking about the father image. Because here it is. If you do not have a father, cast down through the gate. You don't have a father. What you need at this point in time is to recognize that if you don't have a father, yesterday we were talking about the everlasting Father. You have access to that Father all the time. And any drawbacks that your father has, because no father is perfect. You can always patch into that particular relationship to get whatever is missing in your father. So I'm going to invite you. My father was a wonderful father. He passed maybe 30, more than 30 years ago actually. And since then, I have not lacked a father. Because before that, my father introduced me to the everlasting Father. He was an elder at Maranatha. His name was Charles Olivia Case. And he was the most wonderful father in the world. I am here to tell you. Sort of quiet. Say a lot of But guess what? When he said, you just line up, right? Because he was a very soft person, just like my husband was. And, boy, that brings to so many different things. That his it's so important to get the right father image because you're going to choose a husband just like your father. If he's a bad father, you're going to choose a husband bad just like him. So we have to, learn how to deal with all of those issues. And this is what reggae.com is all about. Bringing you the best of Jamaica, the best of this little God-blessed paradise on earth. Just 2 days ago, somebody was sharing with me, or it was this morning, about our original name. Our original name was Jew Mecca, as in a Mecca, Mecca, for the Jews, Jews. And initially, we were Christopher Columbus was out looking for a Mecca, a retreat, a place that was like paradise, that the Jews could come as a Mecca. They were looking for a place that they could develop and have it as their private place where they would come to get everything that they need to resuscitate. And that is what Jamaica is. Jamaica, right? But moving on along, we'll talk a little more about all the different history of Jamaica when we do our night talk shows. You've got to be with us for that. We're going to be going all night from 12 to 6 or 1 to 5 in the night, which is really AM, but early AM. And we're going to be talking about all those issues. So you better get to sleep so that you can stay up with us. But back to the father image. If you don't have a good father image, then you can patch into that relationship with your Heavenly Father who made you, who provides for you, who does everything that you need so that you can get exactly what you need from this image. Because I'm telling you, you will never be able to pursue your dreams unless you have the help of your Father. And how is He going to help you? By giving you an image of who you really are. Because we need to understand that who we are determines what we do. I'm a spirit. I have a soul and I have a body. I live in a body. But guess what? Who I am really is that I am the spirit that God has put into me. And the only time I have stress is when I'm not operating according to the spirit that God has put into me. So it's like I'm working against myself. That's what stress is all about, right? But even in times of stress, God makes a provision. Our Creator has made us so that when we are stressed out, our body puts out all the chemicals to just drive us so that we can go faster and better and overcome stress. And then we come back down to what we call homeostasis. Meaning we just settle back, no, right? Back to the father image. So the most important thing about a father and the image he gives to his child is that he makes them aware of who they are, the potential that they have, the capabilities that they have available to them from him. And remember when I say him, I'm not talking about a male, It's just like our custom to call father him, because he is like a hen which has her cheeks under her. That's not a male image, right? But he is everything that you need. All provision comes from him. All protection comes from him. From this Creator Father. All provision, yes, and the provision is in every area. And let me tell you the areas of the provision. He comes to give you abundant life. That means plenty. That's why I first made my decision to give my total life to this Father. You know why? Because we used to like learn things. I was about 7 years old. And I decided we like plenty clothes. I like plenty things. Dolls and toys and so on. And when I heard that He came to give us abundant life, I said, I want that. And all my life I have been a collector. I just love everything in abundance. One day I'm going to share with you my glasses collection. I have approximately 20 pairs of glasses. No, about 40 pairs of glasses. Right? One in each color, and some I have like 4, 5, 6 in the same color. But the black ones, I probably have about 8, 10 black ones because black is my favorite color. Black is beautiful. And so we have to remember that if you want black to get better, you just mix it up with anything else and it come more beautiful. That's why Jamaicans are the most beautiful people in the world. I was talking to somebody who organized one of these Miss Jamaica, Miss Universe, or something or another contest. Oh, he was a chief judge for about 20 odd years. And he was telling me that we were, hey Carl, you remember how much we were? We were something like fifth in the world in terms of Miss Universe or something like that. Anyway, this little dot in the earth can come fifth, is fifth or third in the world in terms of how many persons have come in the top end. This little dot in the world can have so many Olympians. This little dot in the world can have. How can we be so small and have so much impact? Because we have a destiny. And we need to understand that destiny. Yes, I was talking about jam icons. Remember, we are all icons. And I want to start putting pen to paper. I haven't started the competition yet because I have to talk to the person who organized it and conceptualized it. But we are going to have a competition where you can write in X number of words about your jam icon. And this is for anybody in any walk of life. I don't want you to write about people who are rich and famous. I want you to write about your family member and your neighborhood friend, right? Or if you want to write about your teacher or your child or your grandchild, because we are all icons. And we need to have it down on paper so we can share it with the rest of the world. And so that everybody can benefit from all the different things that we have and that we are. Because guess what? When you share things, you know what happens to them? They expand. When you don't share them contract and shrivel up and die. So we are about sharing who we are, what we have achieved, so that the maximum number of people can experience and share with this experience. You know, so Reggae to Reggae was a reggae music station for almost 2 years. But one day, our CEO and conceptualizer of the station decided, look here, we can't just be sharing reggae music with the world. We have to share all the other rich heritage of Jamaica with the world. And so, just a week ago, we bust out our new programming, right? Where we are now going to be sharing everything that Jamaica has to offer with the rest of the world. And so that's how I came in. So it's a good thing besides the Latin, because I will not be here. But we're going to have the best of food, the best of health areas, the health areas. We're going to have the best of how you can become a millionaire. And I'm talking about a Jamaican millionaire. But let's just put it as a Jamaican billionaire, right? So the best of health, the best of wealth, the best of how you can live in peace in the war zone and the many war zones that are just popping up all over the world. The best of love. How can you get your relationships to a place where they're all loving relationships? The relationships, first of all, with yourself, which is what we're concentrating on today. You've got to have a good relationship with yourself. And you can't do that unless you know who you are, potentially. Remember, there's a difference between the facts and the truth. More on that. Let me just finish this list. So it's abundant health, wealth, peace, love, and joy. And of course, that is not a problem because all you need to do is patch in to celebrate life, to celebrate with me. I don't care what's happening. I'm going to squeeze the joy out of every situation I encounter. And I want you to come along with me on the journey. So back to number one. The number one rule, which is know where you're going. We spoke about the end. We spoke about the purpose. that you're on this journey. And now I want to concentrate a little more on how you can do the things within yourself that will put you on the journey, right? I just mentioned that you gotta know who you are. I am made in God's image. I will break that down on another program. But once I understand I'm made in God's image, that means I have the potential to do everything that God can do. But along the journey to getting there, to becoming like God, I have to ask Him to help me along the way. So anytime I get a hitch, and I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, then I say, look here, just come here and patch me. Dress up like me and just walk along so everybody thinks it's you, it's me, but it's really you. So that's what He does. So who you think sitting down here? Not me, He's the God man, or should I say the God woman. He is inside and infusing my whole body. Remember, I'm a spirit, and I live in this body, and I have a soul. So what I'm doing now is that I have taken my spirit, push it down into a little corner, and I say, Father God, let your spirit come and just pull up everything. Move through my hands, speak through my mouth, do everything else. All these movements are easy, My God is a moving God into everything nice. So that's how we need to do it. When we are not sure what our present image is, let Him give you that image. And it starts off with the right attitude. Your attitude to things will determine your speed of progress and your altitude to which you get. It's like an aeroplane, right? If your nose is down, then you're going down. If your nose is up, then you're going up. So you have to keep your nose in the air. And that's not in pride, that is in direction. Because wherever you focus, then that is where you are going to go. Do you notice that when you're driving, you will know that wherever you focus, that's where you're heading. When you decide to focus over there and you're the precipice, you're going to drive down into the precipice. So you need to understand that wherever you focus is where you are going to head. So remember that get the nose where you need to be heading. After we get that attitude right, then we'll be in the place where we'll be open to getting directions from our Creator. He knows where you're going, and so once you have those dreams, visions, goals, achievements that you want to have, you write them down. That's the next thing. Write the vision. Make it plain so that those who read it can run with it. First of all, you have to read it first. You know what I'm reading now? I'm reading all those visions of my network that I have been writing over the last 20 odd years. I have books and books and books and books and paper and paper and paper and all sorts of things with them. And I don't even have to look on the notes because I have read them over and over and over and over and over, and now they're all in my head. So I can sit here and just bring them in. You can only bring out with any modicum of fluency what you have put in over and over and over. And that is why I play the word continuously in my environment. Straight through the night. 24/7. It actually takes me 4 days to play from Genesis to Revelation. You know what they used to do in the war? When they want to condition people, they just put them without recording them head and say, kill anything that do this. Kill anything that look this way. Kill anything that... And after a while, you just automatically go out and kill. It's the same way I have programmed myself. I have the word coming in 24/7. And it says, love anything that moves. Love anything that look like this or don't look like this. And that is how I'm able to love you. So remember, we are what we allow ourselves to focus on. That is how we are going to be successful in adjusting our attitudes. Because as we concentrate on blocking out all the stuff, guard your ears, guard your mind, guard your eyes. Because once these things come into your body through your senses, they go into your spirit. And then they must come out at the wrong time. This is why when you listen to a whole heap of bad word and a whole heap of negative stuff, and one day something drop on your toe and you just bust a bad word, then you don't even know why you bust the bad word. Because of that you've been listening to. So a lot of people watching all these soap operas, they say, oh, it's recreation. It is to keep my mind. Keep your mind blank. Whatever your excuses, know that whatever you look at has an impact on your spirit. Whatever you hear, it has an impact on your spirit. And why is it so important to guard all your senses? Because whatever comes in through the sense gate will affect what is going to come back out from them same sense gates. Because whatever coming through Yaso, that those are your ears, will come out through Yaso, which is your mouth, right? I don't know if I mentioned to you that the reason I'm doing my program today in a little more English format is that I had a criticism, a wonderful criticism, from one of my viewers that some of their friends over in Europe did not understand everything I was saying because I had all my program in patois. That means I was using the Jamaican vernacular. And so today I'm trying to introduce a little more of what we call Jamaican English, because I believe that every Jamaican is supposed to be trilingual. Every Jamaican needs to know how to talk patois because it is our soul. It is how we express our innermost being. Nobody can talk about them man dress yaga yaga. How you going to explain that in English? There is no parallel. However, we need to be able to translate to what most Jamaicans speak, which is Jamaican English. Now, I've been trying to do my show today in Jamaican English, which is every now and then you just pop in a little different grammar. I was about to say bad grammar, but it's not bad. It is Jamaican grammar. And then every now and then you pop a little word that may not conform to the proper English syntax. But more about another program. So every Jamaican needs to know them patois. Whatever patois, kind of what, plenty patois, different from different areas. There are some people who come from Sills, who I cannot understand. Because when I used to live down there, and I went to the taxi stand, and I said, oh, I'm trying to go to Southampton. Then look at me and said, really, Eddie? I said, I live in Southampton, Leeds. And then he come in and said, really, Eddie? I said, I'm going to Southampton. Do you know Leeds? Yes, you drive through Leeds and then you get to Southampton. And he said, oh, Jackson man said, oh, you want to go Southampton? I said, Southampton? And he said, Southampton she want to go. You want to that taxi? Well, every Jamaican needs to know them patois. And then you need to know your Jamaican English so that you can communicate to every Jamaican the words that only Jamaicans can relate to. And then you need to learn English. If you want to communicate to the international body of people, then English is the largest the language most used for international communication. Not Spanish, not Chinese, although they are trying to get it there, and not French, not Italian, not Portuguese, but English. So I am really encouraging us as Jamaicans to use our three languages, and none, no better than none. That means there is no language that is better than another language because it communicates who you are and what you want to say. So when we move from that, we move back into, I'm trying to do this in Jamaican English today. So try and learn and use all three of your languages. We as Jamaicans, most of us are trilingual. Because if you hear some people who can't read and write, them can't tell the fact of wood. And when they're getting to certain environments in the upper crust of the Jamaican society, you will hear them talking Jamaican English. And then when them get bust and them go on air, well, they start to talk American English. Well, what's different, and so forth. Down in the islands, when we do so and so. So, guess what? There are versatile people. One day I will share with you something that came over on YouTube called Corey Woods. I have to give you that one day. Or you can just go on YouTube and put in Corey Woods. And I'm here, you get a laugh of your life. Of course, this is just for Jamaicans. Moving back to who we are and how we become the best we can be so that we can pursue our dreams and our visions. Remember, backing up to just do a little review of what you have done before. 1, know where you're going. How you know where you're going is by reviewing your dreams, your visions, your goals, your aspirations. But remember, all of them need to be above and beyond your capabilities. 1. 2, you got to know who you are. And the fact that you are made in God's image and therefore you have the Spirit of God within you. You've got to embrace it. You can't reject it and want to get the benefits from it. Right? So you have to embrace the Spirit of God that has been breathed into you to make you a living soul. And then you listen. You hear. How you listen and how you hear? My mind is telling me, I shouldn't turn on that road. Or another feeling, The place of communication is the mind and the gut. Why? Because the gut is where the reproductive functions are. This is where you must tie the belt of truth. The girdle, put a girdle around your waist. That is called the belt of truth. So that everything must come out of the area of truth. Meaning that you don't want to reproduce anything prematurely. You want to just tie around here truth. And as we talk about truth, I want you to understand the difference between facts and truth. Facts are what you see, what you taste, what you smell, what you hear, what all your senses make you aware of. Like this blouse is a white shirt. That's a fact. You can see it's white. Duh. But guess what? I can go get some purple dye and dip it in there. And then it will become a purple shirt. So those are the facts. The facts are changeable. The facts are your present reality. It has nothing to do with the truth. The truth is what God says about your situation. Characteristic of truth is that it is eternal and it is unchangeable. So, facts are neither here nor there. Because when I was 6 years old, hobbling around in soldier boots with iron in there because I had deformed feet. That was the truth. My present reality. No, sorry, that's all the facts. My present reality at the time was that I could not walk straight because I had four ankles and I used to walk on the four ankles and twist up every shoes that my mother buy. Here it is. I had deformed feet and had to wear special shoes with a piece of iron in there. And I hobbled around on those shoes. Those were the facts. But guess what was the truth? The truth that is I had a dream, and that dream says was pirouetting on top of the globe, and that I would dance all around the world. Well, Simeon, I now dance all around the world. I am on the registry of the Undertakers Association of the USA as a dancer for funerals. And so I am called up and my airfare is paid and I go and dance at funerals. That's just one of the things I do. That's not the only thing I do, dancing around the world. But that was the truth. So remember, don't look at the facts of your present situation. Look at the truth of what God has placed in your visions and in your dreams so that you can accomplish them and recognize that everything that happens is a part of the journey to getting there. Know where you're going. Remember, you have been created with every capability that you need to achieve these dreams. You have been created with the backup, the protection, the provision, the resources. It's all there. Why don't you have? You have not because you ask not. And when you ask, you're going to get the answer. And when you get the answer, if you want to carry out those dreams and visions, if you want to achieve them, then you have to follow the operations manual. So everybody has to have an operations manual. How can you fix the machine if you don't know how it works? And most of us haven't a clue how our machines work. You know how many people come to me and they say, Doctor, I have a problem in my stomach. My stomach. You tell me, you have a stomach up here? They have no clue that that's not where the stomach is. You understand? So we have to know how we were made and who we are. We have to know our capacities and what we need to do to jump drive them and get them running. Wonderful. So I hope you understand very, very, very well. Mr. Producer, can you give me a copy of the map? I would like to pray the national anthem with our viewers today so that we can have some ammunition. And then after that, I'm going to bring on a special young man. He's a performing artist. His name is Steve Machette. You do the chopping? All right.
Spiritual chopping.
Spiritual chopping. And his music is the one that you have been hearing in the background since his music is the music I've been hearing in the background about that change has got to come and has got to happen. So that we can really find out that, you see, everything that come on the show, it's all not just all Jamaican, but all talented Jamaicans. And I'm here to tell you that every Jamaican is talented. And the only time you don't see that talent is when you have not discovered it. And so you got to get my satellite program together. Thank you. And come and find out exactly how you can find your talent. What is your genius? I can't read his writing, but guess what? He is the songwriter of the theme song that I've been using for the last week. And I'm going to just go through this prayer and then I'm going to invite him to come on. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, send it on a penmanship course, Mr. Producer, after all. Okay, now we're going to take our Jamaican map. And remember the motto and pledge is our map as to where we are meant to go. This is the truth of Jamaica, you know. And remember, you can write in, call in, email in for a copy of this and have it with you all the time. And anytime you have a little problem, you just take it over and just read it. You're gone here. All right. So today we did the pledge one day and we're doing the motto all the time. But today we are going to do the national anthem and we're going to do it as a prayer. So those who know it, pray with me. And afterwards, you can pray it again and again. I'm asking you to pray this prayer every day. And it says, Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with your mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Them need wisdom. Because they can't do this thing by themselves. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica land law. If we don't know the truth of what you intended for us, we're going to pure foolishness. Second verse. Teach us true respect for all. Respect for the guys at the corner who come to harass you and wipe off the glass. Teach us true respect for all. Respect for those who work with you in the home as gardeners and helpers. More on that in the future. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us too weak to cherish. Give us vision, lest we perish. Knowledge, send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Thank you, Lord, that this is your intent for us. And we pray that you will bring it into being in our everyday lives. Because you have a plan. And your plan is to prosper us and to make us successful as a nation. So, come on in, man. Take over my seat as I hop out of here on one foot. Right? Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Yes, good be on reggae.
Man.
Reggae to reggae.com. Original Steve Machete coming to you live, you know. Yeah. Hope you like my songs, you know. We are going to do this one live for you, you know. Do a little piece because I'm here with this precious lady here. Bring across such great views to you. Let's say, saw a bird flew down this morning as if he's saying something to me. Sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying to tell me something, something that I should know about this new wind, a new wind that's gonna blow. But it's the raining of the heathen coming down on my people, taking the goodness of life and rendering them evil. You see, the little that they gave you was just to deceive you. Don't tell me that you were blind to let the devil fool you. Somehow I know things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Somehow I know things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Ooh, yo, oh my, ooh, wee. You don't know about that's just a little piece for you, know.
We have here, you'll hear the music coming up. It is coming up, the actual recording. Here we go, you gotta get this tune, just right. I want to thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah,
and
it's
guys,
nice to be here, you know.
celebrate life with me on reggae to
Reggae.com.
reggae.com.